In this video we explain how to use the A01 arc command. We'll start off with a mill setup point at X250 Y500 at the top of the panel, and we'll go in and choose the A01 arc command. Our first prompt or input is the X and Y final point of the arc, and if we want a complete circle, then those values are already entered for us. They carry over from the mill setup. We just have to define the X and Y center point of the middle of the center point of the circle or the arc. And if we want a complete circle in this case, then our X and Y center point is going to be here in the middle of the panel. So and by default, the A01 arc command, you have to enter the X and Y center points as relative coordinates based on the mill setup. So in this case, the X center point in relative coordinates is 0, and the Y coordinate is minus 250. It's in a negative direction from the mill setup. And if we wanted a counterclockwise arc, we'd just check this box, otherwise we leave it unchecked. Let's do a couple more examples on the center point. Let's move our mill setup to a different location. Let's start our mill setup at X0, Y250, and then to make that same circle again, go back to the A01 arc command. And now in relative coordinates, our center point is X250, Y0. Gives us the same result. Now there is a way that you can enter your X and Y center points in absolute coordinates if you're more comfortable with that. And the way we do that is go back to the A01 arc command, and we lead off with an A for absolute and a semicolon, not a regular colon, but a semicolon. And then we'll put, in this case, our X coordinate would be 250, and our Y coordinate would also be 250. These are in absolute coordinates. So that gets us the same result. And just to show an example of some arcs that are less than a complete circle, we just have to change the ending point. So if we wanted a half circle, just change our ending point to be 500. Or if we wanted a quarter circle, then our X endpoint would be 250, Y 500, like so. So really, it's a pretty basic arc command. You just have to know the endpoint and your either radius or the center point of your arc.